Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
Well, Phil, it is International Women's Day tomorrow, and to commemorate this, we've got another great guest. Her name is Beck Wilesmith. She's the coordinator of the Micah Women's Network, and she joins us now. Beck, welcome to Rise and Shine.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, we're so thrilled that you're here with us. We'll have to start off by getting a bit of a picture of what is the Micah Women's Network.
Yes, great question. The Micah Women's Network is a network or a group of women from across the Australian church, from every background and many denominations, who simply have a heart for biblical justice and who are passionate about seeing a more just world. So our vision is pretty simple. It's Christian women advocating for a just world through influential political engagement. So that's the network in a nutshell.
Wonderful. And you've got some events coming up.
Yeah, we do. So every year we do what we call a dinner tour. And this year we are running 8 dinners across the nation, taking them to each capital city. We're really excited about that. And in the past, we're focused a little bit more on women in leadership. But actually this year we're opening these dinners up to any Christian woman that has a heart for justice.
I love that because that's an interesting idea. Justice for women. Beck, can you take us through why that's important? What does that mean and in a practical sense?
Yeah, I can speak to that. Look, Micah's goal really is to raise awareness about what is happening globally, especially when it comes to vulnerable women and children, and we advocate for the most pressing global justice issues. And I mean, as we look across the earth, I think it's quite obvious that there's a lot of things happening. There's conflict, there's instability, there's extreme weather, and often it's women and children that are most impacted by this. So for instance, 1 in 5 children currently live in a conflict zone across the earth, which is quite staggering. And, there's 700 million people today that live in extreme poverty. So really, these events are about women coming along and getting some awareness about what is happening in the world, how it's impacting women and children. And then we actually take a moment on the night to advocate around that and give the attendees a really simple way to let the Australian government know that they care about these issues.
Oh, what is it? Can you tell us now?
Yeah. So it's a pretty simple action. It involves what we're calling a postcard petition around our Safer World for All campaign. And it's simply about writing to your federal MP. We're really calling on through this campaign for a very modest increase to the Australian aid budget. So the Australian aid budget currently sits at 0.68% of our federal budget. And this Safer World for All campaign is asking our federal politicians to lift it very slightly to 1%, which would have an enormous impact for women and children in developing nations. So on the night, we're going to hear from some amazing speakers, but then there's a moment in the program where we actually walk you through that step of writing to your MP. We're going to coordinate delivery to MPs' offices all across the country. So it's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, it's a good cause. But can I ask, why is it called the Micah Women's Network? Why Micah?
That is a very good question, and hopefully most of your listeners would be familiar with Micah 6:8, the call to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with the Lord. So Micah is named after that book of the Bible and specifically that verse. So obviously we see that as our mandate as Micah to help the Australian church and Australian Christians act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly.
And are you only in Australia, Beck, or are you overseas as well?
Yeah, look, Micah Global does exist, and they do very similar work overseas, but Micah Australia sort of stands alone as its own thing, and we're a national entity, yeah.
Amazing. Well, Beck, I'm very excited that I believe you might have some tickets to give away for these across the country to our Vision listeners.
Now, is it only women who are invited, Beck, or can men come as well?
Yes, I'm sorry to say it's only women. Look,
that's okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Good question. Reverend Tim Costello, who's our executive director, is one of the speakers, so he'll be the token male there. But, yes, which will be great, but I do suggest strongly just women attend.
Sounds like a good idea. So if you are, look, it's everywhere. We've got Perth, Sydney, Brisbane, Newcastle, Melbourne, Launceston, Adelaide and Canberra. You really are covering the whole nation.
We are. It's going to be a big 2 weeks, but I'm really excited, and it does sort of land around International Women's Day, which is really exciting as well. So I think this is going to be really top of mind for people.
And the events are happening next week, so it's very, very quick, starting in Perth on Monday, the 10th of March, and landing in Canberra, so you can deliver those letters, on Friday, the 21st of March. You have a big week.
Yes, we've got lots planned, but it's really exciting. Just looking forward to seeing hundreds of women from across the country.
If people want to find out more, Beck, where should they go?
Yeah, so the best place to go is to our website, micahaustralia.org. You can find the Women's Network tab at the top and click on that. But look, the tickets are selling on Eventbrite. So another really simple way to do that is look up Eventbrite and just search the Micah Women's Network dinner.
Amazing. And look, if you would like to take advantage of these free tickets, Andy, I wonder, maybe we'll make it a text-first competition.
Okay.
The first woman, because it is woman only, we've made that very clear, who can text us with the word Micah in the heading, text us through on 0447 488 316. We have a double pass in each of those locations. So if you can get along, maybe jump over onto the website, double check the dates, and we'll give them again later in the show. But text through. The first people to text will be the first ones to get those tickets. First in, best
dressed, and first in with a text. You will win yourself a double pass to the Micah Women's Network event. It sounds like a great event too, Beck. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about what the Micah Women's Network does.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Pleasure.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.